So was it always the plan for you to take over the family business?
Well, the thing is, it wasn't the plan actually. Probably being a scientist might be my final destiny as well. My buyer was mocking me in Hakka, and I thought she was praising me, so I keep smiling at her. Particular time, I couldn't know how to deal with it, and then my dad said, "Very good. You think earning money is easier?"
What is up, guys? My name is Charles Liew. Welcome to Biz Chat with Charles Liew, where I talk to real business people about real business stuff. But hey, why so serious? In this episode, we're going to be talking about family-run business, the challenges, the advantages, and we have someone very special today. We have Leslie Lee from Tien Hak.
Thank you, Charles, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. My name is Leslie, and my company is called Tien Hak Company Sdn Bhd. And the business nature of this company works as a agency house and a distributorship where we gain the agencies from the West Malaysia suppliers and also some local suppliers, and then we distribute to the customers in Kuching.
Okay, so you would agree if I say you are a second generation owner of a family-run business, yes?
Yes, that's
okay.
correct.
Let me ask you this. What did you study in university?
I was studying biomedical science.
Biomedical science?
Yes, biomedical science in New Zealand.
Sure. Okay, why? Why biomedical science?
I mean, since I was a kid, to be honest, I have a very lonely childhood.
Okay.
And the reason is that I have a huge age gap between my siblings. So, you know, during my childhood, most of the time they will be in the school or in a tuition center while I was, alone in the backyard playing with animals. All the while I thought I had the passion to interact with animals.
Sure, wow.
Not until in the middle of the study in New Zealand, then I found out that my true passion is actually human interaction. That's
Wow, okay. How did you discover that?
Oh well, that's the thing because during my third year of study this biomedical science, I suddenly came across by a opportunity to involve in family business.
Sure.
Yeah.
Whilst you were in New Zealand?
Whilst I was in New Zealand. Due to the fact that all my siblings, they have career. They're doing very well in New Zealand. They have successful career and they have family.
Yes.
So for them to come back to involve in family business is quite difficult for them. So
I can imagine. Yeah.
But eventually, I decided to go with my inner voice, which guide me to where I am today.
Let me just ask you this, right? So this is the point of this whole interview. So was it always the plan for you to take over the family business?
Well, the thing is, it wasn't the plan actually.
Yeah, because you went from biomedical science, you tried vet as well. Yeah.
Tried vet, and probably being a scientist might be my final destiny as well. If I were given chance to further more my studies. But then the thing is, there's one time that my dad announced to our family members that he decided to, at that time, to sell this company.
Sure.
So for me, it's very shocking remarks.
When did you say that?
That was when I was in high school.
Sure. Okay, go on. Yeah. Okay.
And then I still remember vaguely that I talked to my dad. I said, what if I quit my high school and
Quit your high school.
quit my high school and to my surprise he said no, you finish your high school, get a degree, and then you see whether you still have the heart to venture into business or not before you thinking of make a decision to take over the company. I still remember what my dad said to me. He said, Leslie, not that I don't want you to take part in the company business, but what will your kids say to the grandparents when you have a child? Are they going to blame me? Are they going to blame grandpa for forcing my dad to get into business without any certificates or degree while the siblings, the uncle, auntie are doing very well, successful as a lawyer, as a real estate agent, as a chartered accountant in New Zealand? That not be fair.
Okay, I'm pretty sure at that point, your dad actually thought to himself, this guy could eventually, have that bravado to actually take on the whole family business at that point.
That I'm not so sure of. Not so sure of, because to be honest, a dad is a very traditional Kuching father. So communication probably towards a family member is not his forte.
So I can understand.
I understand that probably he faced a lot of business problems, and by the time he reached home, he's very quiet. He didn't say any words, so he always put up his solemn face. But not until recently I found out that I have an urge to keep communicate with him. So I think it's a blessing, it's a privilege to come back to Kuching and to work for this fantastic company, and as well as I'm able to talk to my dad and consult my dad. I think is a blessing, and I do feel it's complete.
Absolutely. I mean, so it wasn't always the plan for you to take over the family business.
Correct.
But you eased your way into it, right? So when we return from the break, we'll talk about how your dad actually trained you from the ground up. I think that's actually a very interesting story.
Definitely.
Okay? So we'll be right back. And we're back to Biz Chat with Charles Liew. We're still with Mr. Leslie Lee. Okay, so Leslie, let me ask you this. How did your dad train you to become the managing director that you are today of the company?
When I first back from New Zealand, he didn't say that you're going to take over the company. He didn't mention that at all.
Did you quietly know though?
No.
Okay.
I was like, quietly accept whatever fate that I'll be facing.
Sure. Okay.
Because since I'm jobless anyway.
Okay.
That's the only job
That's fair.
that he offered to me.
Sure.
So generally, the first year, my dad trained me to become an attendant.
Sure.
And during that,
what's an attendant, by the way?
Attendant means that you're sitting beside with the lorry driver to deliver products and goods to the customers.
Sure. Okay.
We need that, or else whole.
So you pass the DO and everything to
the customers,
Sure.
And then they will help loading and unloading all the products from the lorry.
Sure.
Those are important as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So those are attendants. Initially, I was the attendant during that particular year, and also my achievement for that year was getting a lorry driver GDL license. Okay. So I drove lorry.
You drove?
Yeah, I drove my company's lorry for about 1 year as well.
I love that. Okay, so that was your second job. After being an attendant,
correct,
you got promoted to be sitting next that next seat as the driver.
Yeah, correct. During my third year, I was being promoted reluctantly to become a salesperson. I would say the word reluctant is because I got culture shock. Communication to me at that time was lacking,
Sure.
and it's not my forte.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I did remember that particular night. I came to my dad. I cried. I said, "Dad, can you please put me to become a driver?"
Did you really cry?
Yes, I did cry because I was tore off by my.
Tell us about
my-
the
my
pain. Yeah. Tell me, like, what, like, it must be very emotional, right? So what drove those emotions at the time?
Well, the thing is, for so long years I was in New Zealand, training to become a some sort like half scientist
There
or
we go.
involved in
Yeah.
science,
Okay, that makes sense now.
and people to people
Yeah,
interact is
yeah.
very professional
Very cultured.
and very cultured, very sophisticated,
Absolutely.
and we talk softly.
Absolutely.
And most of them, my customers, are speaking in Hakka, but I don't know any much about Hakka.
Ah. Okay.
So my buyer was mocking me in Hakka, and I thought she was praising me. So I keep smiling at her, and
Okay.
by the time I finished the job, and my colleagues, my team member told me that she was actually mocking me. So well, I mean, this is not professional.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
so I guess same situation happens right now. I will take it. I will internalize it as a joke.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's nothing much of a personal attack anyway.
Sure. Yeah.
It's just that at that particular time, I couldn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah. So you cried because of the build up. You felt like, hey, you know what? You had everything going in New Zealand, and now you are back here having to deal with this kind of mockery and everything, being a salesperson, right? So you went to your dad. What happened?
And then my dad said, "Very good. You think earning money is easier?"
Right. I love that. That's what I say to a lot of my stuff when they come to me. So the first response is very good, to just shift the mindset a little bit. You know what I mean? So I love that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So your dad said to you, very good, right? What happened next?
Well, I continue my journey
For
to
how many
become
years as a salesman?
salesperson for another year.
Another year?
Because at that time they did know my identity was. So not only like few months later, they started to know my identity.
Sure.
So not only my customers, my clients, respect me a bit, but also at that time I gained some respect from my team member.
Sure.
So I think that's the important things, my achievement in
Yeah.
this,
Understand. Okay. So your rise to become the managing director.
It's not easy.
Yeah. So after salesperson, you went up to be the managing director. Is it fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Assuming that role now, right, taking over from your dad, was the transition easy? Because here's the thing, you're appointed as the MD, right? You're appointed as the managing director. So basically everything is under your purview now, right? So you are the guy, right? So transitioning from your dad to you, was it difficult?
Transition is always a very difficult time because the team members working in a company suddenly feel or knowing that there is a second generation coming in the organization chart. To them, they might feel a bit anxious.
Yeah.
So I think that's the correct word to put it, anxious. But how we as a leader, we need to assure them that I don't come here for vacation.
Absolutely.
I come here to make things work.
Yes.
So I think then again, communication is a key.
Yes.
And we need to communicate honestly and effectively among team members and listen to them. Because like Richard Branson did mention, like if you take care of your employees, they will take care of your clients.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that really help it to where I am today.
Thanks for that. Now, just to summarize, right, from transitioning from old to young, right, in terms of the MD position, right, your dad to you. At the initial stage, of course, it came as a shock to the company, right, because everyone was anxious, as you say, right. But so at the end of the day, the saying comes to mind: respect is earned, not demanded, right? So you started to earn their respect
Through years of hard work.
through years of hard work, through proving yourself that you are actually worthy of this position, right? And until today, would you say it continues to be a work in progress?
Oh, definitely, it's still a work in progress. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all my team members, and also my suppliers, and most of it, the mentor. My dad is a great mentor and a great leader, and who I can meet him anytime when I have any problems. I decided to seek for him. Really drives me to where I am today.
Sure. Guys, we'll be right back. When we return, we'll ask Leslie about what are the challenges and the changes that he has actually made in the company, okay, since he took over as MD. We'll be right back. And we're back, and we're still with Mr. Leslie Lee. Okay, he's from Tian Hak. He's the second generation owner of a family-run business. Now, Leslie, let me ask you this. For sure, when you came into the family business, there will be the old ways of doing things. And so I'm pretty sure you would have effected change to the company during your time, the past 6 or 7 years. Now, tell me, what was the one change that you are proud of?
Initially, when I came back from New Zealand
Yep.
To join my dad's company, I think you've been there as well.
Oh yeah, it's close to my house.
And we are just a shop house. So as time goes on, and the supermarkets are like doubling. So in 10 years of time, I think right now the supermarkets and hypermarkets, if we added up all the outlets, is more than 100. Compared to 10 years back, is only less than 50 outlets. So we need urgently to find a larger place to store our inventories. So at that time, I managed to rented a larger warehouse in close vicinity, around 5 kilometers of radius. During this process, we've been looking more than 20 properties in surging card, in which we have to make a huge decision whether we could lose more than half of our employees and the team members due to the distance from their house. So we have to take into consideration of that. So that's why we choose the location around Pending, Bintawa area. And also the most important thing is it's very close to the port. And to me, logistics saves a lot. It saves by double.
We know now it's not really post COVID-19. We're still in the midst of it, right? But the take up of online shopping by everyone, even the older generations now, people like my mom. The other day I saw her scrolling through Taobao, and I panicked a little bit, right? So because the older generations adopting online shopping, even actually, we were all thinking whether this could spell the end of brick and mortar retail and things like that. So there's a huge shift in terms of people porting over to online shopping. So how has that changed the landscape, changed your business?
Okay, the first thing I'd like to mention is when I first came to work in Tian Hak, when from New Zealand, I was being splashed a lot of cold water by a lot of comments saying that you are study totally different disciplinaries. You know nothing about business. So you only know maybe more about cats and dogs than dealing with animals, than dealing with humans. So things like that, and that really sparks my interest to learn more. So one thing like what you said about during this COVID time, more people choose to buy online. That includes me. But the thing is, to us, it doesn't affect much yet. I would see
As a wholesaler,
as a
trading house.
trading house. I mean, for us, because in the end of the day, I never seen my customers order pallet of rice from Shopee. So you can't do that because the delivery charges will be more. And they don't get the expected service.
Would it get to a point where that becomes cheap?
It could be. If our Kuching Port Authority is able to perform well enough, I would say in future there'll be more easy to purchase goods from West Malaysia.
As in the goods that you currently distribute?
Yes.
There is a possibility that they could bypass you and get straight from the source. Is that what you're saying?
This is also a threat, and a potential threat I would think of.
Sure.
So in order to overcome that, we will back to the core value of our Tian Hak company, which is the service. So we extended more service to our customers, supermarkets, hypermarkets, such as the merchandisers. We have a dedicated and very loyal merchandisers that stick with us through thick and thin since COVID or pre-COVID. We have this fantastic team going on, and also that our sales team has been working closely with the buyers, and we have a fantastic team of our logistic people, the lorry drivers that have been working to make sure all the goods are well distributed, well executed without any complaints.
So you would say that Tian Hak now, as a company, you are well geared and insulated from the rise in online shopping for now, and you trust that going forward it wouldn't be a problem as well, because you can always change your model to adapt to changing times.
I will hope so. This is the case because we never know what's going to be happen in the future. We are also very thankful that our products are mainly essential products. During this time, we are able to perform and provide service to the customers in need.
Thank you so much for that. Okay, so before we wrap up, I'm just going to share some statistics with you. Here's the thing. We actually did some research, guys. According to McKinsey and Company, the average lifespan of a family business is 24 years. And Tian Hak has been around for about more than 30 years and going strong. Okay, so only 30% of them can remain as a family business after the second generation as well. So normally during the second generation, they would either need to change or they die. Okay, so these are some fun facts. That's why I love this conversation with Leslie, because we can learn a little bit about the ins and outs of a successful family-run business. So until the next time, guys, it is bye for now.